In sunny America, excitement buzzed in the air as a very special day dawned. Three friends, Neil, Buzz, and Michael, stood side by side, grinning from ear to ear. They had spent months training, learning, and dreaming, and now they were finally prepared for the adventure of a lifetime. These brave explorers were astronauts, ready to fly to the moon, a mysterious place no one from Earth had ever visited before. Neil was the calm and thoughtful leader, always steady under pressure. Buzz was the joker, making everyone laugh even when things got tough. And Michael was the expert pilot, guiding their spaceship with skill and care. They zipped up their puffy white spacesuits and adjusted their round helmets, hearts pounding with excitement and a little bit of nervousness. Helping them were Sparky, the friendly robot, who checked every button and blinking light, and Squeaky, the clever mouse, who made sure the snacks, especially the cheese, were packed safely for the long journey. The Saturn V rocket, taller than any building in the city, waited for them like a giant silver pencil pointed at the sky, gleaming in the morning sun. "Ready for our big adventure?" Neil asked, his voice full of hope and courage. "Ready?" shouted Buzz and Michael, their eyes sparkling with excitement. Squeaky squeaked, "Ready, set, go!" and everyone giggled at their tiny friend's enthusiasm. All across the world, people watched, holding their breath in anticipation, as the astronauts walked in a proud line toward their rocket, waving to the cheering crowds. Everyone had a job, big or small, from checking engines to packing lunches. And together, they made the perfect team, working side by side to make history. The big day was finally here, a day they would remember forever. Their moon mission was about to begin, and the whole world was cheering them on. Neil, Buzz, and Michael climbed into the command module at the top of the rocket, surrounded by buttons and screens. Sparky beeped as he checked their seatbelts. Squeaky peeked out, whiskers twitching. The countdown began. 10, 9, 8. The astronauts grinned at each other, hearts racing. 7, 6, 5. Outside, smoke and steam billowed as the ground rumbled. 4, 3, 2, 1. The rocket engines roared, flames lighting up the sky. Lift off! The Saturn V pushed upward, slowly at first, then faster and faster. Neil, Buzz, and Michael were pressed into their seats as the rocket soared. The ground shrank below, Florida turning into a tiny map. Squeaky covered his ears but smiled. Up, up, up they went, leaving Earth behind. "Wow!" shouted Buzz. "We're really going!" Neil said, eyes wide. The adventure had truly begun. What a ride! After the roaring launch, silence filled the cabin as the rocket boosters fell away. The astronauts floated in zero gravity, laughing as they drifted like superheroes. Squeaky tumbled through the air, doing somersaults. Out the window, Earth looked like a blue and white marble in a sea of black. The stars shone steady and bright, like diamonds on velvet. For 3 days, they traveled through space, eating floating food and playing catch. Sparky beeped, moonbound. Squeaky chased the ball, loving every moment. Each day, the moon grew larger in their window, from a silver coin to a glowing ball. Its surface was covered in craters, like bowls made by ancient space rocks. "We're getting close," Neil announced. Excitement filled the cabin again, the next step landing on the moon. Their hearts beat fast with anticipation. The greatest adventure was just ahead. Near the moon, Neil and Buzz carefully moved into the Eagle, their spider-legged lander, leaving the safety of the Columbia behind. The tiny lunar module felt both exciting and a little scary, as it was their only way down to the moon's mysterious surface. Michael stayed in the Columbia, circling high above the moon, keeping a watchful eye on his friends and wishing them luck from afar. He was their lifeline home, waiting patiently and hoping for their safe return. Squeaky, the brave little mouse, joined Neil and Buzz, tucked safely in a pocket, ready for the adventure of a lifetime. Even the smallest explorer had a big role to play. Neil took the controls of the Eagle, his eyes scanning the strange, cratered surface below, searching for a safe landing spot among the rocks and dust. Buzz watched the instruments closely, calling out numbers and updates, guiding Neil down with calm, steady words. Every second counted as they got closer to the moon. 50 feet, 40 feet, looking good, Buzz announced, his voice steady but his heart racing. The lunar surface was coming up fast. The moon's gray, dusty ground rushed up to meet them, filling the windows with a landscape no human had ever touched before. Suddenly, a warning light flashed. They were low on fuel. Only seconds remained before they would have to abort the landing and fly away. But Neil stayed calm, his hands steady on the controls, heart pounding as he searched for a smooth, safe spot to land. Down, down, down they went, the Eagle drifting closer to the moon with every heartbeat. The Eagle touched the surface with a gentle bump. For a moment, there was only silence, as if the whole universe was holding its breath. Then, gray dust settled outside their window, swirling in the low gravity. They had landed. The impossible had become real. Neil's voice crackled over the radio. "Houston, Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed." Cheers erupted on Earth as people everywhere realized history had just been made. Neil and Buzz high-fived in their puffy suits, grinning with relief and excitement. They had done it. They were the first people ever to land on the moon. Squeaky squeaked with joy, sharing in the triumph of the moment. The adventure was more amazing than ever, and the moon was now a place of dreams come true. The world celebrated their bravery, with people everywhere cheering, hugging, and feeling inspired by what humans could achieve together. The moon was theirs to explore. History had been made, and the adventure was just beginning. Neil and Buzz prepared for their moonwalk, carefully checking their suits and helmets, making sure every strap and buckle was just right. The excitement in the lunar module was electric, and even Squeaky the mouse could feel it. The crew knew that what they were about to do would be remembered forever. Neil opened the hatch and climbed down the ladder, the silence of space all around him. Squeaky peered out in awe, his tiny heart pounding with excitement as he watched history unfold right before his eyes. With his foot on the last step, Neil paused for a moment, then spoke the famous words. "That's one small step for a man, one giant leap for mankind." The world listened, holding its breath. He set foot on the moon, the first human ever to do so. The gray dust puffed up beneath his boot, and the blue earth hung like a jewel in the sky above. The ground was soft and powdery, and he bounced lightly in the low gravity, feeling almost as if he could fly. Every step was a new adventure, and the moon felt like a magical place. Buzz soon joined him, stepping onto the surface and marveling at the endless black sky and the bright, beautiful earth shining above them. Together, they gazed in wonder at the strange, silent world around them. They planted the American flag in the dust, proud to represent all the people back home. The flag fluttered gently, a symbol of hope and achievement for everyone on Earth. Squeaky, feeling brave, hopped onto the moon. One tiny hop for a mouse, one giant leap for mousekind. He looked around, amazed that even a little mouse could be part of such a big adventure. Neil and Buzz collected moon rocks and set up experiments, carefully placing instruments to learn more about this mysterious world. Every rock and sample was a treasure waiting to be discovered. The rocks would help tell the moon's story, revealing secrets hidden for billions of years. Scientists everywhere would study them, eager to unlock the mysteries of space. They hopped and skipped, laughing as they floated gently down, discovering the joy of moving in low gravity. It felt like the moon was inviting them to play. The moon was the best playground in the universe, a place where dreams came true and every moment was filled with wonder and fun. Their dream had come true, and together, Neil, Buzz, and Squeaky celebrated under the stars, knowing they had made history on this magical night. While working, Buzz tried a super high jump, soaring in slow motion. Neil attempted a long jump, bouncing over a crater. Squeaky joined in, making tiny hops and kicking up gray dust. Suddenly, Squeaky found a sparkly, rainbow-colored rock. Buzz called it the Squeaky Rock, a special treasure to take home. There were funny mishaps, too. Buzz bumped a science experiment, wobbling but not falling. Even astronauts could be clumsy in puffy suits. They felt like kids in a giant sandbox. All too soon, it was time to leave. They took one last look at the moon, gathered their samples, and climbed back into the Eagle. The hatch closed. Their moonwalk was over. They would never forget this adventure. The Eagle lifted off, leaving footprints and a flag behind. Neil and Buzz reunited with Michael in the Columbia. Did you bring souvenirs? Michael asked. Buzz held up moon rocks. Their journey home began, hearts full of joy. Earth grew larger in their window, a familiar blue and white marble. After 3 days, their capsule blazed through the sky and splashed down in the ocean. They were heroes, cheered and celebrated by all. Sparky beeped a victory tune. Squeaky got a hero's piece of cheese. Their teamwork and bravery inspired the world. They proved that with courage, curiosity, and working together, anything is possible.